If it makes you money or brings us happiness, you'll find it right here. This is The Purple Tie Show. Welcome to the show. I'm Robert Martin.
I'm Blake Singleton.
You're sassy is what you are. Over there making racket and everything before I hit
I was trying out my fancy new drawing tablet.
your sidecar with your iPad, with your MacBook.
Yeah, it's nice.
Okay. So this, so when I brought this up, you were kind of hella against it at first.
Hella. That's not, we're to the age that we can't say things like hella and yeet and people take us actually serious.
Really?
Really.
I feel like I'm young. You can be old if you want to.
I'm just
So,
saying, at
here's
our
what-
age, people are going to see us and hear us saying those words. And
You're
they're going to be
only
like,
as old as you feel.
are you
Don't
a
bring me
teenager?
down. Stop bringing me down. Okay.
Blocking
We
your
are going to talk
shine.
about
Yep.
lead magnets.
Sure,
Because when I
sure.
first brought up lead magnets, you were like, does that really is that really relevant to our audience or are we just talking to the people?
I was curious.
And I'm like, technically we're talking to ourselves. To ourselves, but
I talk to myself all the time. Side tangent, right off the bat, side tangent.
go.
I found an article the other day that
The inner monologue thing.
implanted something in my brain that I just can't get out.
Mm.
There are some people on this planet that don't have an inner monologue. And it is such a foreign concept to me.
Well, that's because you're vivid with your inner monologue.
But
And
I mean, they can't hear themselves think. It's just like they can visualize things.
How do they learn? See, that's my issue because we talked about this.
Yeah.
If I read a book, I'm playing a story in my head, so I don't remember what I'm actually reading. Or I'm thinking about, and it's in my voice. I'm like, I'm doing this thing and blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, I was reading a book.
Yeah.
Well, crap, I didn't retain any of that.
Yeah.
That's why I had a hard time learning in school.
It's just, it blows my mind. There are people out there that do not have an inner monologue. And I'm like, when you're reading a book, how are you retaining that information?
I've got the ADD, so it doesn't matter for me. So,
anyway, sorry, I digress.
you did digress. Lead magnets.
Yes.
So you were like, how does this apply to our perfect client, right? Because we deal with a lot of orthodontists, we deal with plastic surgeons, things that, it's whenever you need braces, you don't just one day go shop for braces and go into the local Walmart and be like, hey, what hour's your braces on?
Yeah.
Because they're going to send you to the pharmacy and it's the wrong kind of brace.
Wrong kind of groceries.
Wrong kind of brace. You're going to wear an e-brace in your mouth in just a minute. So, but you don't just go to Target and buy braces. It's something that you research and you use the internet to look at all your different options and who's got pricing plans and who's got payment plans and who's got, whatever, right?
Right.
So let's say, and whenever I tell you this, you're going to be like, I didn't even think about that.
Probably not. I don't think about a lot of stuff.
So let's say you have a plastic surgeon, right? Because I'm hoping that our listeners are smart enough to put the two and two together, right? For orthodontists, what they would do. We'll go back and talk about it just in case. But let's say you're a plastic surgeon. You have a section on your website all about breast augmentation, right? Or mommy makeovers. That's even better. Let's say you have a dedicated site, dedicated page on your site for mommy makeovers.
Okay.
You put a tracking pixel on that page for mommy makeovers. Then you take that tracking pixel and you run a Facebook ad, and your lead magnet is a downloadable PDF. Everything you need the 5 things you need to know about mommy makeovers. Well, they've been to your site. They know who you are. They click on the thing. You go back, and to get your PDF, you have to give me your name, address, and phone number. Name, email address, phone number. Then if I have a patient coordinator, the patient coordinator would reach out and call you and be like, hey, I saw you downloaded our Mommy Makeover book. If you have any questions, feel free to, call the office, blah, blah, blah. Now you've got the tickle throat.
I do. I'm sorry.
I had it last week. So I feel like that's a great way to build interest. So,
it's also a good way to build authority. You always talked about how you got to make yourself
the authority,
and the easiest way online is to present a whole bunch of relevant content so that you have overwhelming support to show Google that you are the
absolute
expert.
So,
and this leads into other stuff like infographics and white pages.
Man, Pinterest is covered up with infographics. But think about this. Say you do have, maybe it's not breast augmentation. Maybe it's a Botox, right? You're looking for Botox fillers to make your lips plump or whatever else they do. Apparently Botox is for men too. Well, I think they inject it in your lips and it makes your lips poofy.
I don't know.
I've never done it, so I don't know. So, but I think it's for men too. I don't know what you put in to make things bigger, but there you go.
Wow.
Botox. So,
wow. Come on now.
We may have to stop the podcast because I've tickled myself. So
tickled yourself with the Botox.
So
Jesus.
Let's say you've got a page just for Botox.
Yes.
Someone goes to the page for Botox, reads all about it, and you again put a tracking pixel on it, and you then display an ad either on Facebook. You could do an ad on the network, right? Like the Google network, the ad network.
Yep.
There's tons of places to put that ad. But retargeting ads is so much more convertible. They convert better.
Yeah.
That's it. They convert better.
I like convertible prospects. I like that.
I love convertibility. So they have a higher conversion rate because they've already been to your website. They've already seen it. They already know who you are. So here's this free guide about, the 18 things you need to know before you get braces or whatever, right?
Right.
Or did you know you have more than just metal braces? Because now they have clear and gold and like
ceramic,
rainbow colored and teeth colored and like they've got all the braces have come a long way from the year of your like metal mouth.
Well, I never had to have headgear, but I did have to have the.
Dude, you had a Ford Thunderbird grill in your mouth in high school.
It was not great, and the hooks that were on the sides of the braces dug into my cheeks on the inside.
Your jowls.
Yeah,
so,
it wasn't great, but I've got really straight teeth now, and they look really good.
That's all that. Well, that's opinion. So.
No, that's fact.
But you
I don't care what you think.
You can put a lead magnet together for, 13 things you need to know about this, 8 things you need to know about that. And you gather the information. If I'm an orthodontist and I've got a $5,000 or $8,000 orthodontist gig, right? I probably got somebody to do patient follow-up.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So when you go download my guide and you give me your name and you give me your phone number and you give me your email address, first thing I'm going to do is automatically, right, because you can set it up to auto send. So the immediate thing I'm going to do is send you your guide.
Right.
And thank you for downloading the guide and all this other stuff. Then I'm going to have one of my staff call you very quickly, unless you do it at like 9 o'clock at night, then you're going to get a call the next morning.
Well, obviously.
So to answer your question, that's how I believe lead magnets can be used just about anywhere.
Botox.
It's a real thing.
I need to make a note real quick.
So, well, make a note real quick.
I got to make a note. I'm making a note on the podcast. You guys are listening.
For a future podcast.
You guys are listening to me make a note.
So, I want to talk about, so let's talk about, there's tons and tons and tons of lead magnets for other things on the internet, Facebook and things like that. I've got one that just came in the mail today. It's an actual book. And because
hard copy. Ugh.
I know. It's made out of trees and ink, and it's awesome. But it's a lead magnet. It's, hey, if you pay shipping on this book, which is $7.95, which actually is like $3 and something, it probably cost them $3 and something to print the book, so they break even. Or it's what's considered a loss leader, right? So, in a med spa, your loss leader may be, well, my dentist offers Botox. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I did. So I wasn't going to mention it because I think it's strange that a dentist would offer Botox.
Why? Here's the thing. They can inject, right? A dentist can inject because he's got to inject the Novocaine so that you don't, it's the numb mouth.
Right.
And so why not? It's easy to get.
It doesn't make sense.
The puffy lips and the puffy eyebrows.
Nothing makes sense to me anymore. Everything is weird and nothing makes sense.
You're old.
Yeet.
So
I don't even know how to use that in a sentence. As
your loss leader, though, like this book is his loss leader, right? He either cuts, breaks even, or he loses a little money on it.
Right.
His ultimate goal would be to sell you his, $1,000 course or whatever.
Yeah, and he makes a compelling argument. It's like you said the other day. He tells a really, really good story. Mm-hmm. He starts off with how he was living in a trailer park, and everybody talks about the $1 million that changed their lives, but he's going to tell us about the $1,000 that changed his life, or something like that.
I think it was. He built a landing page, which is so the other thing is you could build a landing page. So your ad
that sort of goes in with the lead magnet. You need the landing page to get the lead magnet.
Yeah. So, and he was like, and it's called a funnel, right? Because you display your ad to a lot of people, and then you weed down to the 10 that give you, their name, address, their actual name, address, and phone number. I'm just going to call it your address because, email address. Nobody has an actual address anymore. It's just like home phones. So, and then you trickle down to the 5 or 6 that may actually be interested, down to the 3 that may do business with you.
And then from there, the 1 that pays you to do the course.
And so his deal was, I was really proud because that first $1,500 a month funnel was the one that got me out of the trailer park and allowed me to buy the house and provide for my family. And then I paid the house off in 18 months because of another funnel. And that's his stick, right? And I don't think that when you're trying to sell something that nobody really wants,
advertise. Well, I don't think it's advertising. It is.
Nobody
marketing.
Wants his course.
Right.
There's nobody that woke up this morning and went, dang, I wish I had a course that told me how to sell to people on the internet and automate the process.
Yeah.
I need to find that thing.
Yep.
Nobody wakes up and says that.
Well, nobody but you.
So that's true. I think about automation all the time. But if he can lead you in to his funnel with the lead magnet, then you know who he is. And so it makes you always think about, lead magnets as being this, gigantic thing on the web that people use to get other people to buy their crap.
That's
their
$1,000
course. But it can be so much more than that. Like we use a lead magnet, and our lead magnet is actually really, our lead magnet is very out of the box. right? I did the presentation for SMA back in November, and we took that video, and you're currently like squishing it down like a 4-minute trailer.
Yep.
And
in the process.
So what we're going to do, and what we've done in the past, is we've emailed that 4-minute trailer out, or we're going to email. Right now, we're emailing a link to the full-blown video.
By the time you listen to this podcast, we will have been sending out the 4-minute trailer.
Yes. And you can go to purpletieguys.com/4 minutes. Right? 4 minutes.
Sure.
You want to do that? That's not an actual website address yet.
Yeah.
We're just throwing that out there.
purpletieguys.com/4 minutes.
So we're going to send out this video, and then the video establishes us as the expert. So that's our lead magnet. And then the people that look at the lead magnet, so you send it out, you talk to the people, you get their email address, you send it to them. The people that actually watch it, then you either send them another email that says, hey, if you enjoyed we're actually putting a link in the description to the full video. But that opens the door to call. Be like, hey, I sent over a video of a presentation we did. Just, if you have any questions, I'm here.
I'll tell you why our lead magnet is better, in my opinion, than a lot of the other lead magnets out there. It's because it makes it easy to get past the gatekeeper. Because you call in to follow up on the email and you say, hey, I called and left Donna or whoever a I emailed Donna a couple of days ago.
A presentation we did for, and then we'd say the company, or the association, which is very well known. But it bypasses the gatekeeper. They're like, ooh, you said, you're following up. Okay, yeah, sure, hang on.
Yep.
And 9 times out of 10, they'll answer the phone. So I'm like, hey, did you get a chance to look at the thing? And usually they're like, well, I started it, but I haven't gotten all the way through it yet. Well, I just want to let you know if you have any questions, here's my number. And I'm prepping for next year's lecture. So I had a quick question. What do you guys do for marketing?
Yeah.
In the practice?
Yep. See, you're combining multiple techniques for client acquisition into one streamlined technique. That's one of the things that I really like about, automating things.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that's one of the things you like about me.
No, I don't like you. No, it's one of the things that I like about automating the process, though. It's because you can use all of these things, like all of these ideas in a single email and then a follow-up to make a really attractive, not overly, what is
salesy.
The word? Yes.
But it's a compelling, hey, you should do business with me because look at me, I'm the expert, without going, hey.
You want to buy my stuff?
You want to buy my
thing?
stuff? No, it's so, I hate that. I can't do it. I mean, I tried when we first got in business and we were hungry for everything we could possibly do. Man, I smashed the phone every day. Like, you want a website? Hey, you want a website? You want a website? Hey, you want some clicks to go along with that?
Yeah.
So
I got some likes. I got some shares.
I got some likes and shares and clicks and followers. I'm even got a couple influencers in me belt. All me.
Botax.
Botax. I'm having a real hard time.
We're both having a hard time. I'm over here taking notes in the middle of the podcast because I can't remember crap.
So
I just made that PG-13 for y'all. I didn't want to.
That's a miracle you did. But a lead magnet doesn't always have to be a book or a PDF or, it could be anything. It could be a video of the doctor saying, this is what goes into breast augmentation. This is what goes into a mommy makeover.
So going back to the book that you just got from the copywriting person, I wanted to see, you had sort of poorly described what his story was.
I thought I did a pretty good job of it.
To me, before this podcast, I mean, let's be for real, you did a crappy job this one too. But anyway,
please take it away.
I wanted to hear his story as well. I wanted to hear how he told it because you were like, I know I'm forgetting stuff, so you should just listen to it yourself.
Yeah, trailer park, new house, blah, 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 $1 million.
Right. The end. Happily ever after.
I'm horrible at storytelling.
My point was that he has multiple lead magnets because whenever I went to the website, I went in an incognito tab because I didn't want to be pixeled and have him all in my ad.
Pixeled
got
anyway.
me anyway. Don't know how he did it, but he got me anyway. But I went and he was offering that book that you ended up getting.
Yeah, I like it too. It's got purple in it.
An ebook and an audio book. But what I was looking at was the webinar. He had the automated webinar about copywriting. And it was a 2-hour webinar with him and who's the other guy? Russell Brunson.
Yeah. We've used that font before.
Yeah, we have.
Both of them.
That's the exact same layout as Russell Brunson's book, if I remember correctly.
And C4 by Russell Brunson.
Yeah. Russell Brunson, if you don't know, he is the creator of ClickFunnels, which is a lead page creator.
Landing page creator and a very simple, easy to use.
Yeah, drag and drop. But he has, he's got the physical book, the ebook, the audio book, the video, the webinar. He's got lots of things to attract lots of different types of people.
Well, not everyone's going to be attracted by the same thing. Like if I could, he actually upsold me because when I got the book for $7.95 free and shipping with the free book, he upsold me to an audio book for another $37, and I bought it.
Dang.
Because I listen to a lot of audiobooks.
Yes, you do.
So for me, I'd rather consume books in audio formats. So he actually probably made, obviously he made money on me. He made money on me. So I helped him get out of trailer park, so I don't want to hear no crap. But a lead magnet doesn't have to be. When people think about lead magnets, they only think about PDFs and charts and graphs and pictures and books, but it could literally be anything. It could be a video. This podcast could be a lead magnet.
Yeah.
If you make you clip out a few sections of it. I wouldn't do it in this one. I do it in one of our good ones. But you clip out a few sections of it, and you send it as a lead magnet. Hey. Here's our latest podcast. Just thought you'd find some value in it. If you want to listen to the whole podcast, you can find it here, right?
Yeah.
You send them a little teaser clip. That could very well be a lead magnet. So, with that being said, I want to talk about another lead magnet that I got.
Yeah.
That really, really ticked me off.
Okay. I've already heard this story, but please tell it again so that I get a fresh perspective.
Yeah, well, you will. You're gonna listen. You're gonna listen to me. We both have virtual assistants.
Yes.
Which is abbreviated to VA.
Correct.
And both of our VAs are in the Philippines because they're just doing. Test does a lot more than, spreadsheet configuration, and Sim does too. But I got this. So friend requested me, connection requested me, whatever LinkedIn's thing is. And immediately.
I wonder if our audience can hear the wub-wubs happening right now.
They are so distracting. But she messaged me on LinkedIn after making a connection with me immediately and was like, hi, man, it makes me so mad. Pisses me off to no end. Hi, Robert. Would you like my, I have a book that I'm about to publish, and before I send it to press and to sell it, right? Basically, hey, I'm going to sell this book.
Yeah.
It's a value. See this? I'm going to sell it.
Yep.
I was wondering if you would read over it and give me some feedback. That was your first mistake. You asked for feedback. If you don't want feedback, don't ask me for feedback.
Well, so before we move forward with this story,
because it's a great story.
It is a great story. What really gets me about creative people, be it photographers, artists, writers, whoever, you have two types of creatives. You have the creatives that are legitimately in their field to better themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got the people that just want you to tell them how good they are.
Yeah.
And there is no overlap in my experience.
So this book, because you didn't read the book.
I didn't.
I should make you read the book.
Okay. At some point.
Literally, it is a 49-page ebook PDF that talks all about VAs and, USVAs.
That would be United States-based virtual assistants.
Yeah, offshore VAs, which include, the Philippines, India, anything
basically
that's not
anything
continental
that's
U.S.
not the continental America. Yes, North America.
North. So in this, and then as you get toward the end, it's like, if you need help with your outsourcing needs, contact this company who I happen to own, right?
Yeah.
So it was a 49-page lead magnet.
I mean, it makes perfect sense. It is a basically 50-page book telling you all the great things about specifically my company, right?
Yeah, how great VAs are and how great they can make your life and all these things that you can do, all these tasks that they can take from you.
Yeah.
And I'm a big advocate for VAs. I love, Tess is I don't know what I'd do without Tess. I'd probably rip my hair out. But I got to offshore VAs, right? Read, I didn't read, I skimmed. I don't have time for that crap. So I skimmed through.
It wasn't an audio book, so you didn't care.
Yeah, so I skimmed through the book and I get to the offshore, right? And the way she described the offshore VA is you don't assign them anything that you wouldn't assign to an adept 8-year-old. Basically have them do mundane tasks that your time is just too valuable for.
Well, to be fair, that's exactly what VAs are for. They are to do tasks that you can do, but that you have things that you need to do that are more important in the day-to-day running of the business than just, for example, if I had to go in and do updates on all security updates and patching on all the websites that we've got, it would take me hours out of my day if I had to do it daily. But I can have Sim go in there and make sure that there's none that I've missed, none that I've overlooked. If there's errors that are coming up, he can correct them for me. I mean, it's a lot of stuff that I can do and I have done, but now I've got somebody that can help me with that so I can continue building new sites or doing on-page SEO or technical SEO or whatever.
And really it's just a person who can be an extra hand, a helping hand. But to use a term, so your company sources VAs. That's basically what she does.
Right.
But you're going to talk about offshore people not being able to handle anything more than an 8-year-old and make it repetitive task. Don't trust them with anything, important, but if it's a repetitive task, that your time is just far too valuable to mess with, that's what you send to an offshore VA. The reason that makes me so incredibly mad is, one, you're literally lumping everyone that's not in the U.S. in one basket.
Yep.
And you're saying they're stupid.
Yes.
And the only thing that they can do is just meaningless, repetitive. Basically, if you could just have them sweep up after themselves, that'd be great. It was a very condescending way she said it.
Yeah, it was.
Well, you read that part because I was.
Do you have that book still?
I do still have that book. Okay, so you made me stop and go find this section of the book.
Yeah,
because
I want to read this to you because it is so condescending and it is so insulting.
Oh, I forgot how insulting this is. So go ahead and read the section.
Okay, the section reads, Offshore VAs typically handle any task that you could teach an adept 8-year-old. These duties are commonly repetitive ones like data entry and must be outsourced. Your time is simply too valuable. Such mundane tasks are worth considering labor, it's really blurry.
Yeah.
Considering offshore labor since they don't require much in the way of talent to execute. Now, let me just tell you, the VAs that we employ are as intelligent as either of us, or more so.
Offshore.
They are offshore. They're both in the Philippines. They are creative.
They are creative.
I have had Sim fix things that it would have taken me days.
Yeah, and he'll knock it out in like 24 hours. It'll be done.
It is simply amazing how fast he works.
Mm-hmm.
Tess is the same way.
Yep.
And Tess has learned literally everything you've taught her.
Oh, and it's beautiful. Like,
Tess is an integral part in our lead
generation.
Yeah, that's the word.
But she learned how to use all the software and all the,
And it wasn't much time. I want to say we spent a day.
A day, and we recorded the training so that she could go back and watch it again. And it was great.
The thing that upsets me the most about this is that the person that wrote this book basically is saying, okay, do you need somebody to
hire my VAs, but they're dumb?
Well, no. She wants you to hire her VAs because they're not dumb. Right? That's what this book is saying. This book is saying you need to hire American VAs because they are smarter than offshore VAs.
And here's the thing. They're not smarter. They may understand things quicker.
There may not be a language barrier or as much of a language barrier. But let me tell you, we've hired some American VAs and there's been plenty of language barriers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And there's also been a stark contrast between the drive of the American VAs versus the offshore VAs. We had a really hard time keeping our American VAs motivated to continue working at a decent pace.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I know this is, and again, you know why? You know what? I'm going to spin this. I'm going to spin this on her. You know why you give them the mundane, repetitive task? Because they will absolutely murder it.
Oh, yeah.
They will mundane the crap out of that. And they'll do so much, you'll be like, wow, you got all that done today?
Here's something, right? First of all, hiring our American VAs were expensive.
Very.
Secondly, the hours that they wanted, the hours that they said that they would work were so weird. And the price per hour kept going up.
Up and up. There was one, and this was just to set an appointment for me to call.
Right. She was an appointment setter.
$75 an hour.
So, in contrast to that,
how many phone calls can you make in an hour?
Me? None. I don't make phone calls.
Because I will tell you that Tess can knock out nearly 100 phone calls a day. Well, I don't have her do that many because I don't want to have her so burned out that she can't do it. There's no language. She has literally no accent.
Yeah.
They call it accent neutral. You would not know. Period.
So,
but she'll make 80 phone calls a day.
My point with that whole tirade was going to be, at one point we were paying $75 an hour for a VA to work. I think it was like 10 hours a week or something. And we were paying like $750. It was crazy. It was absolutely nuts. And we were getting nothing off of it.
Nope.
Nothing.
Not a thing.
But
make about 25, 30 phone calls a day. Call it good.
Yeah, it was just whatever. But Tess came in.
You're very angry about it.
I was.
I am angry. I'm still not happy with it.
It was very disheartening, right? Because we worked really hard to get those VAs in the first place. And then to have them just be so nonchalant about the job, it was just very discouraging.
Here's the thing. If I pay you $75 an hour, I'm going to need you to have some enthusiasm.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, that's
$75 an hour is more than I made in my, previous business that I owned. You know, I didn't make $75 an hour.
No, I started off.
I think we made $35 an hour or something.
Back in the day, we were at $65 an hour. I mean, we weren't even at 75. And all you got to do is sit at home and use your internet, and you know.
So the thing that got me about Tess was whenever we first hired her on, it was for 5 hours a day for 4 days or something like that. It wasn't much.
Yeah.
It was part-time. So she was like, I want to work more.
Oh yeah.
And now I think she's working like every day, and we're like, no, take a day off. And she's like, but I took this day off, so I'm going to work this day instead. And
and here's the thing, I don't keep up with it. So she works about 45 hours a week. And, you know, she works Monday through Friday. She's there 9 to 5 hour time, which is 11 to 7 Filipino
I'd have
time.
to look at my world clock.
And then on our weekend, she puts in another 5 hours doing prep work
for the next week. Yeah.
And it's like, and she's like, hey, she sent me a message this morning, actually, and we're recording this on Sunday, just full disclosure, but she sent me a message this morning, saying, hey, I went out last night with friends, and I haven't seen her and I mean, we've developed a friendship through this. She sent me a little picture of her and her friend, at some bistro somewhere having, brunch or whatever.
Right.
And she's like, it was so good. I haven't seen her in so long. And, but I took time off to go do this. So I'm going to make it up today. This is what I'm doing.
And now we are her full-time employer. She was working as a VA for another company last year whenever we first met her. And she was working for us and another company as a VA, and she had a full-time job on top of that.
But because of this book, I'm sure the other company that she was working for treated her like crap.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Here's an auto dialer.
Also, I don't want to confuse you guys. We did not hire her through this crappy VA company that we're bashing right now.
Well, it's not even that. So the previous company was like some real estate something, and it was an auto dialer.
Yeah.
And,
the other company she was working for, you mean?
Yeah. And it was like, hey, you don't hang up until you get a yes or they hang up on you. And she's like, do you know how humiliating and just absolutely...
So that's
soul-sucking that is.
That's called shotgun
sales. You get somebody on the phone.
Where you basically hold a shotgun to them until they say yes or they hang up on you.
Yep, that's it.
And that doesn't sound fun to me in any
I couldn't
any
do
way.
It. No, I would not. I can't do regular phone calls, let alone get somebody on it and wait until they get mad and hang up on me.
I don't see the point. It's like
if they say no, let them go.
If you are going to keep me on the phone and pressure me until you force me to either say yes or hang up on you, and I say yes, do you think I'm going to be happy
or pay?
With whatever you're selling?
Mm-hmm. Probably not. And so our job for her does not include that.
No.
And she is always thankful for that. And I feel like and I know we've deviated off topic because we were talking about lead magnets. I feel like because of this crappy lead magnet, people think that, if they're an offshore VA, I can pay them crap, number one. I'm paying them dirt. I can pay them like $1 an hour. And that ain't the way that works.
Mm-hmm.
I just went real southern. That is not the way that it works. And this book makes it sound like, if you hire an offshore VA, you should pay them between, $2 and $3 an hour max. And you should assign them, stuff that.
Okay. This comes back to what we were initially told and taught whenever we were first learning SEO way back when, that you find some offshore writer to write your content, you get a
pay
them at dirt cheap.
So you make as much money
as you can possibly make. 300 word article, keyword density of whatever, It doesn't matter how it reads.
Yeah, can be total trash.
But as long as you get those words on the web page, you're going to, and it's just not the way that it works.
Well, now here's the thing. If you do it, well, before this last, a couple Google algorithm updates, it used to work. But here's the thing. Would you rather rank a site with a really good, 1,000, 2,000 word, really well written, well
put together,
thought out, researched article, right?
Yep.
That people are actually going to take the time to read, that makes you look like the authority, right? Or are you going to slam this, 300 word article that uses, plastic surgeon 10 times or 30 times in a 300 word article and reads.
You'd have to put
and reads like, well, I talk.
Yeah. Put up 10 of these 300 word articles, one every day for 10 days with, 100 words being plastic surgeon or whatever.
So that's black hat, though. Let me rephrase it. That's more of a gray hat SEO technique.
Let me tell you what happens to the web pages that have those articles, okay? After what was it called? BERT or whatever it was last year?
Yeah,
for Google. After that update, Google algorithm's gonna crawl those pages and it's gonna see all of these articles.
Low quality.
Well, that's not even it, because it can't really interpret what the words are, like the meaning of the sentences, but it can tell that there's 900 of these 300 word articles, and it's like, well, this doesn't look like it really explains anything.
So
why would I rank
this? This is dumb. So here's what I think. The algorithm's smart. I mean, Google is probably one of the smartest companies out there.
Sure.
Aside from, Apple's marketing, I think Apple's marketing is super duper smart, right?
Most of the time.
I mean, they've had a few, anyway. But their marketing is typically really, really smart. And their products are, their ecosystem is seamless. That's what I'll give them. Their ecosystem is seamless.
Yes.
I feel like Google is smart, and I think they're smart enough to have the robot read the article and go, this word shouldn't come after this word.
Yeah.
Right.
Like a grammar check or whatever.
Yeah, like a grammar check. Because, I mean, we have websites that we can dump stuff into Grammarly. I mean, I'll just throw it out there. You dump it in and Grammarly goes, hey, this isn't written properly.
Yeah.
If Grammarly can do that, the Google robots are smart enough to go, yeah, this article is a piece of crap. Right. I'm not going to rank this site.
So here's what happens after Google's algorithm chomps up all of these pages with the 300 word articles. It says, oh, you're trying to trick people into going to this system, into this webpage. You said system. I parroted the crap out of that. Anyway, then Google's going to take that webpage and say, 5th page.
Oh, yeah. Because not only are they going to drop the rankings, they're also going to penalize the page for gaming the system.
And then you're, as the SEO guy or girl, going to have to go in and remove all 900 of these articles and replace them with better articles and hope to God that you get ranked higher again.
But let's say you do replace 900 really crappy articles with, good 1,000-word articles that's researched really well and blah, 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 and you don't. It's real slow crawl back up to the top. How do you explain that to the client?
Yeah.
Especially if it's one keyword, right? So I want to rank for, let's say, Botox, Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
And I am number 3, right? I'm in the map pack. I'm number 3. This is great. I am right where I need to be. I'm getting tons of traffic. I'm seeing tons of patients. Let's say they're even number 1. I'm number 1 in Google and I'm number 1 in the map pack. Man, I'm just pegged to the top. And I'm getting just a crap ton of new patients off this. Now they're slammed to page 5, which automatically drops the Matt Pack listing, which is the Google review phone number listing, down to, say, 10 or 12. So they're not in the top 3 anymore. And they're on page 5. Their traffic and all those customers that they were getting goes to crap.
Yep.
And you've been paid to do, and they go, what happened? Are you going to come to them and go, well, so I use some black hat techniques. Well, that's really kind of gray. Anyway, my gray area got us penalized. Well, you're going to fix it. Well, I mean, you were ranking for Botox and this. I mean, there's no other word for Botox to rank you for.
Right.
Right? How do you fix that?
Yeah, and the truth of the matter is, you fix it.
You don't.
You fix it by doing exactly what we said. You take the bad articles off, you put good articles in its place, and you wait. Mm-hmm. Continue to put your good articles on there, and
so you're still going to pay this jackhole,
listen,
thousands of dollars a month to fix what he broke?
You get what you pay for. The company that you're describing has hired somebody they're paying $300, $500 a month.
Oh, what's that company? The one that always puts kick-ass SEO all over Facebook and everything. I can't think of. I don't want to give them a shout out anyway. But they're like, small business SEO for only $2.99 a month, and I'm like, what are you really going to get for $2.99? I pay more than that in quality content.
So right, and we're not even talking a month. So I had a friend of mine who used to say, poor man buys everything twice, right?
My dad used to say that.
So basically what it means is you want to cheap out and pay the cheapest guy you can find to do SEO for you. That's fine. Whenever it messes up, inevitably when it messes up, you're going to hire the more expensive person
to fix it.
Then it's going to take them twice as long to get them where it would have taken them less time to get you in the first place.
Same thing. Well, I mean, let's throw it into, roofers, right? I know we don't deal with roofers, but let's say you hire some, fly-by-night, dude that does it on the side, and he messes it up, and you can never get a hold of him again. And now you got a messed up roof that leaks because you went cheap. Right. Now you're going to have to hire the big company that can come out and just rip it all off and do it the right way.
Right.
Poor man buys everything twice. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that goes for, frugality too. Like if you're just squeezing that, did I use that word right?
Frugality, yeah.
You're real proud of me right now.
I am. I'm real proud of you. We know a person who, if they can do it themselves, will do it themselves instead of hiring out.
Oh, yes.
To a professional. And I don't really know if I want to go into specifics.
We won't.
They may listen to this podcast.
They may. So, Jacob, just know we're not talking about you. We actually have one other person that does exactly what you do.
No, Jacob won't go. Won't put up his own drywall.
He won't go build his own house. But the one we're talking about,
run his own electrical.
Yeah, I'm gonna run my own electrical, put my own drywall up, do my own painting, do my own. Like, I'm handy around the house too, but I'm not gonna.
I could do all of those things, right? But my time is worth more in my business.
Else.
Yeah, I need to be working in my business instead of putting up the walls and running the electrical and putting in plumbing. I mean,
so we've gone like way off, like 18,000 different. This
lead magnet.
So we have a lead magnet for you guys. purpletieguys.com/4 minutes. Go check it out. You've enjoyed the content of this podcast. Like us on Facebook, Purple Tie Guys, purpletieguys.com, pretty much everywhere on the web. Thank you for putting up with our rambling this week.
I'm still, it just blows my mind that some people don't have an inner monologue.